We are live. I'm taking a moment to figure this out because I'm playing it through Zoom, so it's a little bit different. Let's see. Here we go. Mm, Okay. Hello, everybody. I want to see if I can see comments as well. I'm not sure because I want to be able to see you guys' responses, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe I can see on my phone. Okay. Well, I'm going to pull this up on my phone. So thank you all for being patient for a moment. And thank you to those who popped in the group and who's watching this live. I'm so honored to be here. It feels like a long time because it has been. I think the last live I did was in last October. So this feels really special to finally get back to be on this space. Okay, Tanika, awesome. I'll need to return to replay. Oh, I love you too. Amazing. Teresa made it. Oh, yay. Okay, so I'll be able to see comments on my phones from you all if you're tuning in. So if you're here, just say hi. And yeah, just say hello, where you're coming in from. And we're going to get started and dive in because I have a lot that I want to go through with you all. And at the end, I'm going to be talking about this 1 day intensive training called the Unveiling, Awakening the Ancient Priestess Codex. Yay, Gia. Oh, it's so good to see you, Gia. Wow. It has been a while since we connected. Beautiful. Thank you, sisters, for being here. Hi, Kat. Oh, wow. It feels like coming home to all of you sisters, getting to be in this space. So, yay. Teresa from Massachusetts. Hello. It's been a while, Teresa, since we've connected as well. And Eva, so good to see you. Beautiful from New Jersey. Great. Okay, so let's dive in. Welcome to this masterclass, Resurrecting the Divine Feminine Within. There is a very divine reason why you're here. Your soul magnetized you to this space, this point in time to receive this wisdom and to reawaken this, receive this transmission, which acts kind of like a key to unlock the wisdom that's already been in you. So I wanted to first just go into that list that I wrote of this is for you and just talk about why you are here because it's actually really important for how we'll kind of be ending the conversation of why all of this information, wisdom is important for your divine mission, for stepping up into your service for this lifetime. So if you are here, especially if you're in this space, this group, it's because you feel a soul resonance to the priestess, the oracle, and the healer archetypes. And, along that is the shamanic archetypes, medicine woman archetypes. It is this connection to the spiritual realm where you as a woman become a portal for the divine wisdom to channel through you. And depending on who you are, your gifts, you're going to channel that wisdom differently. Some women are more womb priestesses, really tuning into the sacred arts. Hi, Dee. I see that you just tuned in as well. Some women are going to tune more into the womb mysteries and channel wisdom from that space. Some women, the heart mysteries and channeling from really the Venusian lineages as well as like the rose lineages, and some women connected to their more deeper, really focusing on just the oracular arts and being in a space of transmission, channeling, altered states of consciousness, and so on. And some women are working more with herbal medicine and journeying, working with plants to enter these types of altered states. Some women are more connected to channeling wisdom for and energy for healing and divine ascension. So there's so many different ways that you can tune into these mysteries. Hey, Allison, I see that you're watching as well. And it's really unique to you and your gifts and what you have studied in previous lifetimes, because there's so many different mystery schools, so many different lineages to tap into. They all come from the same one source, especially these divine feminine mysteries, that of the Sophia. But there's this soul knowing, this soul calling that you are, there's this magnetism, this undeniable magnetism of finding this connection with the feminine within you and sharing this wisdom through a space of healing, of divine transmission, whatever that might look like for you. So this is really, you being in this space, you're a woman who feels this fire to truly align with your soul purpose. It is, you just can't ignore it, even if you don't have all the pieces together, and you're not supposed to have it all figured out. That is the journey of initiation. That is the journey of unlocking, uncovering, decoding, moving past the veils of that we have received through coming into this human form. Because anytime we come into a human form, we're going to receive these veils, these illusions, this kind of filter through which we view the world and ourselves. And those filters can sometimes disconnect us from seeing clearly the wisdom within our soul. And that's why we do this healing work. We go through these initiations to remove the veils, so that we have clear sight of ourselves, clear sight of our purpose. But what allows you and guides you to keep moving forward in your path, even if there is that illusion or those veils or the uncertainty or doubt or darkness, is this fire, is this inner knowing that I came here, I embodied in the human form for a reason, and I'm a part of it. I'm here for it. And how can I contribute and be of highest service for myself and for others? So I know you're here because you feel that. Okay, you're here because you're dedicated to creating a life of alignment. It's not easy to, it's not always the easiest path to choose to commit yourself to alignment. But it is the path that brings the greatest clarity of God, the greatest clarity of the divine. And to me, that allows any discomfort, any uncertainty, any destruction or closing of doors to find there's meaning and purpose to it. Because if I'm committing myself to a life of absolute alignment, that means clear perception of the divine, of God, of Sophia, Christ consciousness. And that in that knowing, we can sit in this throne of safety, of trust, of sovereignty, and of power. And through that lens, you can move through anything, and you can, really step into your divine mission. So yeah, really honoring this path of alignment, of course, comes from balancing both the masculine and the feminine energy within our body. And when we harmonize the energy within our body, we're literally creating this field of harmonized light in our life. It's just around our body. And this creates a greater magnetism across the earth as other light workers, healers, priestesses, oracles, mystics, humans awaken this harmony and alignment with themselves. It continues to increase the light and the magnetism of earth to shift the world into a space of harmony, of beauty and light. So you doing your inner alignment work is contributing so powerfully to the shift in consciousness that's happening on earth right now. And you're feeling probably a greater exponential shift because there's many people are waking up right now. We do live in a time where there's intense contrast. intense. We're seeing the intense darkness, the intensity of the light, but this is exactly where we're supposed to be, because we are seeing this split, this literal split of timelines. And because we are waking up, becoming conscious in this world of illusion, because we are waking up, we're just seeing more of the stark contrast of light and dark. And we don't need to suffer through it, but it is this conscious choice to how do I want to live, which is coming into really deep alignment with the masculine and feminine energy, so that we have the understanding of how it is we're supposed to navigate this world. And that's why we're here today, so that you're reawakening that divine feminine wisdom within you. So you're also here because you're interested in healing the soul wounds that have caused the divine feminine wisdom to hide within the shadows. We're going to talk more about this as we go deeper into the discussion. But there's a reason, many reasons, and also unique reasons for you as to why the divine feminine power and wisdom that is you was literally pushed down. Hey, Julie, I see that you're here as well. Welcome. That divine feminine wisdom was pushed down and hidden away, for one, for protection of that wisdom, and two, for protection of the female, the body, because so many women and family systems were being killed and destroyed because of this, the destruction of the feminine and the complete darkness that really took over the honoring, the reverence for the feminine. So there's a lot of healing that needs to happen in order to feel this sense of it is safe to express my feminine self. It is safe to express the power of the feminine mysteries within me. It is safe to be who I am authentically, with the balanced masculine and with the balanced feminine. It's safe, or it is now more in alignment to not try to overcompensate in this unhealthy patriarchal society with more masculine energy. We don't have to do that. It's actually time to release the grip and attachment of the unhealthy, toxic masculine traits and shift into the feminine. And this isn't just in women, it's also in men as well. This is a huge cultural, societal shift that is taking place. Okay, and then you're also here because you're willing to awaken this full power and sovereignty in your life, because this level of initiation and healing, it takes a willingness. We cannot, we can hold the space as sisters, we can hold the support and love and guidance. But when it comes down to it, is your internal willingness to say, I am choosing to awaken. I am choosing to step into my full potential. I am choosing to rise into my divine gifts and mission for this life. And it is a commitment every day. And it doesn't mean you have to do massive things every day or force something when you really need to rest. No, it's just internal. Yes, I'm here for it. Yes, I'm here for it. What do I need to do? And just allowing the divine to guide you each moment and each day. Okay, so if you are here for this, I want you to put a yes in the comments and just claim that for yourself. Yes, I'm willing. I'm willing to step into this work. I'm willing to rise into your power and your sovereignty and truly reclaim this divine feminine wisdom within you. And that reclamation just, God feels that, the divine feels that, and energy just starts pouring within you. Yes. If you can, say it out loud too, because that even just, you can feel your heart really just opening to that word. Okay, beautiful. Yes. Okay, so this is so important because we are diving into the realm of the divine feminine mysteries. Yay, beautiful women, amazing. And it's going to take courage, and it's going to take trust, and it's going to take strength. But that's the beauty of sisterhood. You know, one of the wounds as well. Hey, Shania, so good to see you. We're just claiming yes, because for this willingness to step into our divine path and our divine mission. So that's what all the yeses are about. So beautiful. Yes, I'm stepping into my divine feminine energy. I love that. So this is important because yeah, we're diving into the realm of the divine feminine mysteries. And it is, like I said, going to take courage, trust, and strength to truly step into this journey of initiation. And to reclaim the wisdom within your soul and your body. For there is this one of the shadow aspects of putting down the divine feminine wisdom is really this wound around sisterhood as well. Um, the suffering, the pain, and this is something I'm going to go more into in the Unveiling, Awaken Your Ancient Priestess Codex one-day training, is a lot of these wounds. But one of the intense wounding is around sisterhood, the deep safety and community and love and connection and sacredness and softness that is sisterhood. This has just been completely deconstructed and stripped away, and we see it even between mother and daughter bonds and like how conflicted that type of relationship is in today's society as well because of this innate sister wound. And recognizing that we don't have to do it alone. Awakening this divine feminine means connecting with the sisterhood, connecting with this divine community. And this is why I've created the Sovereign Priestess Collective, is to have this divine community and connection. There's so many different pockets of divine sisterhood and communities, and you just find which one resonates with your soul, as always, feels really true for you. But as you go on this journey of awakening the divine feminine mysteries, you don't have to do it alone, because it is going to take that courage, strength, and trust, and being around the resonance of other divine women who are doing this, reawakening, going through the darkness, trusting in themselves. It just uplifts you, and you're able to continue to walk forward on the journey. So when you can feel a soul resonance with a specific wisdom transmission, a time and a place, then you can really fully surrender to the nectar of divine wisdom and healing that is guiding you into greater alignment. So I'm going to say that again. When you feel, especially as we're going through this conversation, there's a reason you felt called to today's call, those who are watching it now and those who are watching the recording. When you feel a soul resonance with a specific wisdom transmission, whether it's coming through you, whether you're reading a book, you're having a divine conversation, you're taking a course, whatever it might be, this wisdom transmission, a specific time, a place, then you can really, when you feel that resonance, you give yourself the permission to surrender into that nectar of the divine wisdom and how it is activating you and how it is healing you and bringing you into greater alignment. And so part of awakening these divine feminine mysteries is just being aware, being awake in this world of how God, how the divine, how your ascended masters and spirit guides are speaking to you, are guiding you to places, are guiding you to conversations, are guiding you to wisdom to help you unlock this. We live in a time where the mystery schools, it doesn't look the same as it used to. Again, I'll talk a little bit about that as we get into the conversation. But we're at a time where the mystery school is deeply within our own being. If you are here, you have lived other lifetimes where you were in temple studies, you were in mystery trainings. It's a part of that wisdom's a part of you. And now it's about really awakening it within, and the divine consciousness, the Sophia Christ consciousness is literally coming forward into the collective space to help you remember. And that again isn't just through, stepping into a temple like we might perceive it to be. Our life on earth right now is the temple initiation. And so opening to that soul resonance that's guiding you into the awakening of this divine feminine mysteries that's happening right now. Okay, so I welcome you here. You heard the call, and you showed up. This takes great courage. You showed up. That's the biggest thing, is saying yes, creating time for yourself, clearing out the extra noise, the constant chatter of the mind, the anxious movements, the trying to get everything done, and just pausing to receive, to tune in and to channel. So I welcome you, and I'm so happy to be here with you. Okay. So let's dive in. First part here is why the divine feminine was hidden away. The second part that we're going to go into is why it's now reemerging upon Earth. And I'll talk about a few examples of how to access the unlocking of the divine feminine wisdom within your body, DNA, and soul. Part of that will be this one-day intensive training that's coming up. Will be about actually unlocking more of this wisdom within you. And then, why this is important for your divine mission right now. Okay, so get yourself settled in wherever you are. If you're listening to this on the go, that's okay. But if you're in a space where you're really tuned in and receiving, get yourself cozy, have your drink, whatever it might be. And let's dive into this conversation. Okay, so why was the divine feminine hidden away? So the divine feminine, divine masculine wisdom are both ancient and innate divine blueprints coded within our soul. It is the original polarity of life. There's the unmanifested divine God source. And then once there was manifested creation, physical vibration, there needed to be a tug and pull, something to actually experience itself, each other, which then came the masculine and the feminine energies, which these opposites transcend throughout all of creation. Okay, or descend, whatever. So these two streams of opposites but divine consciousnesses are woven together in harmony to create life. And we are not separate from that. We are angelic, divine beings embodied in the human form. And our innate blueprint is harmony with this feminine energy and this masculine energy. And this is what we're doing when we say coming into alignment, is balancing out these energies within ourselves. Right now, we're living in a time where there has been suppressed feminine consciousness for a long time, divine feminine consciousness for thousands and thousands of years. So we are part of, if you came here on Earth right now, there is this urgency and willingness to be a part of the awakening of this divine feminine wisdom. This is the time. This is the ordained time for this wisdom to awaken. Okay. Okay. So unfortunately, what happens is through human will and the perception of separation, the egoic, selfish actions disturb the balance of the feminine and masculine energy within this more denser reality, and creates disharmony. Okay. But the beauty of that is through our human will, we can also choose to surrender our individual will to divine will. And when we truly attune ourselves to that divine will, we receive the codes of alignment. We receive the codes of the divine feminine, of the divine masculine, and we allow that to flood our body, to reawaken that original blueprint of divinity and harmony. And we can then open our energy system in a way that allows our Kundalini energy to rise, our the sacred force of creation within our base of our body to rise up and to activate into greater awareness of God in this human form. Okay, excuse me. So there is a way to harmonize these energies within our body to create absolute harmony, unity, and wholeness as a direct emanation of divine consciousness upon earth and physical reality. And I was just talking about that, but I'm not going to go too deep into the practices or what we can do. I'm going to give some examples towards the end, but there's more deeper spiritual and energetic breathwork practices that you can do to help balance this energy consciously. There's also just ways that we live our life to help balance these energies. And I'm not going to go too deep at this moment. I'll talk a little bit about it towards the end. Okay, so this journey of harmonization will be different for each individual and different depending on where the consciousness of humans are at, where we're at evolutionary in time. So for example, if the collective consciousness was enveloped in an unhealthy matriarchal system, like just kind of envision, because this was a time in ancient Lemuria during the fall of ancient Lemuria, before we were even really deeply physical embodied. This was more of a culture and society that was the divine feminine was much more prevalent and honored and revered. But towards the end of the fall of ancient Lemuria is when this unhealthy matriarchal quality started arising and started creating disharmony, and that led to a fall. Okay. These rises and falls in consciousness are normal and a part of evolution. And we choose to be a part of it because we want to experience polarity. It's not like our because life is an eternity, there's no like life is always happening. When you're, and I've heard this expressed in more like harmonized star systems and more angelic realms, is there's a desire to want to incarnate in the human experience in this intense contrast of light and dark, because there's something that's enjoyable about it, and it's a powerful mystery school being on Earth. And so although it seems like, oh my gosh, there's a fall and like, how do we avoid it? It's not about avoiding it. It's about why did we choose to incarnate at certain times, and what is our message and our mission at that time? So even when we're in a time period of fall, it's not about trying to avoid it. It's about, why are you there as a soul stepping into that place? Right now, we're in a period of ascension. And it's like, well, why are you here right now? What is your mission and purpose? It's not about trying to stop um, uh, these contrasts of the light and the dark, because these are greater cyclical. This is a cyclical nature that we're a part of, and there's beauty and lessons in it. But anyways, so back. So if you can envision a time of unhealthy, toxic, matriarchal society, then there needs to be a rise, of the masculine energy, and really tuning into the divine masculine and awakening that. Okay, but lately, past couple thousand years, we were in a very dark time. If you've tuned into any of like Sanskrit and like Hindu philosophy, they talk about it in the yugas, which is the evolution of our solar system to move around the central sun within our galaxy. And it takes about 24,000 years for this cycle to take place. And when we get closer, our solar system gets closer to the sun within the galaxy, we are moving into a place of ascension, because we're literally moving closer towards a brighter sun. When we're furthest away from the sun, this is when we're in the dark period. We were just in that dark period. It's called Kali Yuga. We are rising out of it. During Kali Yuga is literally when Jesus incarnated on earth and literally anchored in the Christ consciousness to help usher in this rise, shifting into a time of ascension. Okay, so whenever there's an imbalance, one energy is overexpressed and the other is suppressed. This is just what happens. This is what's happening collectively on a massive scale, and also what's happening internally with ourselves. Okay. So for harmony, there just must be a conscious dance between masculine and feminine energy, and each honors, they have to honor each other, just like in a relationship. The male honors the divine feminine honors the divine masculine, and that creates harmony. Okay, both energetically, symbolically, and physically. In most recent history, the fall of the divine feminine really started centuries before Jesus's life. So around when I was tuning in, I was hearing around the 12th century BC, when a deeper fall into the unhealthy masculine and destruction of the feminine started to happen. Okay, over the last centuries leading up into Jesus's life, there were still many temple or oracular temples and mystery schools, but over time, women's rights and sovereignty and reverence started declining, until in that dark period of time, especially around Jesus' birth, women were pretty much just property, mostly around the world. Of course, there were pockets of places that still revered women, but it was a pretty dark period, especially for women. And, the oracular arts, priestess temples, honoring of the divine feminine really had to go underground. So, but there was once a time, and there are many times when the feminine is revered, honored, and respected. There was a place for feminine in society, and we are shifting into that consciousness now. What needs to happen right now more so is women, instead of trying to fit into the culture of the toxic masculinity, it's just fully embracing the divine feminine and anchoring that consciousness in earth and allowing structures, allowing the structures and systems of society to shift and recreate based on the divine feminine consciousness instead of trying to like input women into the current society. It's more so awaken the divine feminine consciousness, and then school shift, family system shift, healthcare shift, everything will start to recreate new systems because the divine feminine wisdom inevitably is going to bring a different way, a different lens, a view of operating upon the earth. Okay, a new blueprint for living on the earth. Okay, so through the centuries leading up to Jesus's birth and death, many divine feminine temples, mystery schools, and wisdom, the divine feminine wisdom across the planet, would slowly decline. And following a few centuries after Jesus's birth, the rise of the church. And because of the rise of the church, really, a lot of the strongholds of the divine feminine wisdom was diminished, mainly because it was seen as like paganism, or, against the church, witchcraft and all of that. And just like complete, and descent, destruction, abuse, rape of the women after that period. So it was a really, really dark time. Jesus embodied in the Christ light upon earth with the help of many divine feminine support systems, the Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and all the Magdalens and so on. That wasn't really, that wisdom was really buried into the shadows and tried to destroy that wisdom. And as the church came into existence, it just completely suppressed and snuffed out the divine feminine presence, wisdom, ceremonial practices, and so on. So the wisdom of the womb was dishonored. The portal, this portal of the womb was closed off from rape and abandonment from men coming to women for their wisdom, their womb reverence, the ability to create from the womb, not from sexual connection, although that is not that wasn't a part of connection and creation at times, but there was such an honor of the womb, of the woman's body. And because of rape and abandonment, there's just so much emptiness, hollowness, fear, and loss of self, because women were no longer seated within the throne of their body, seated in the throne of their own wombs. And this led to so much disconnection of power, sister wounds, and disconnection of the divine mysteries, because through the womb portal, we're receiving so much wisdom. So the hearts of the divine feminine were broken from sisterhood wounds for survival and protection of family. Women's oracular and intuitive gifts were being siphoned by the masculine. So women who were tapped into the divine, they weren't given the sanctuary and the space to channel that and be in their power to distribute it. No, they were either chased down and killed because of fear of what they were channeling, which went against the status quo, the church, and so on. Or they were used. They were taken, basically enslaved for their intuitive gifts were siphoned for for trying to receive more power. Masculine were trying to receive more power, just misusing the divine gifts of the feminine. So innately, what's going to happen? You're going to, as a woman, you are going to turn off and close off your gifts so that you're not used and you're not killed and your family's not killed, and you can survive. So that's what women did for thousands of years, is just survived. Okay. And just kept the body moving forward and alive. And because of that, in our lineages, in our own soul, and in our ancestral lineages, there's a lot to heal and to accept and come to terms with. And you've probably already done a lot of healing in other past lives if you're showing up in this life ready to step into this work of awakening the divine feminine. But there's still these insecurities and fears that come up because of all of this suppression over the thousands of years of this wisdom needing to go underground. So Um, so reverence for the earth, the body, and sensuality and the magic power of women disappeared because of fear, manipulation, misuse of power by the toxic masculine energy for power. It was not safe to be a woman. Women were basically property with no autonomy. Witches were burned, the temples were raided, the books were burned, sisterhoods torn apart. The wisdom went underground into the shadows, the feminine went into the dark and experienced so much pain and suffering. I just feel that in my heart as I speak it because, in some way we have all experienced that level of loss of ourselves. And this is why we are here reclaiming all of it. No longer. It is now safe. It is time. You're not only supported collectively on the earth right now, but spiritually, angelically with the ascended masters, the Sophia Christ light. It's like cheering you on. Yes, yes, yes. It's time. So, the divine feminine wisdom never disappeared. It is stored at the core of your soul and ready to awake. It is time to awaken the dragon of Sophia wisdom within you. All right. So why is it reemerging now? Like, why right now is this happening? So there's been an increasing welcoming of the divine feminine mysteries and earth medicine over the last century. But everything is exponentially accelerating every year that goes by. And this really started over the last 12 years or so with this greater spiritual awakening, multidimensional awareness of self, seeing through the illusion of the government, of the school systems, of the systems that we're in, the medical system, just seeing through so many illusions and turning to, instead of putting your power externally and giving it over to some system, something outside of yourself, women are remembering, oh, the only power that I have is in myself, is in my sovereignty and in my relationships with the divine. So when you start tuning into that divinity and that level of sovereignty, you become more and more powerful. You start generating more and more spiritual energy, and you start remembering, remembering so much more of who you are. You create a space, an energy field within you where your soul, the archetypal blueprint of your priestess, the oracle, the medicine woman, the healer, the shaman, whatever it is that you chose to come here to do, it starts awakening and activating, and you start remembering so much more of yourself. So, like I said, we are in a time of spiritual ascension instead of descension. And we're like right at the beginning of it. So your soul is like, I'm going to be here right in the beginning. I'm going to get this kick started, and I'm going to be in the time where there's like the light is reemerging, but there's still so much darkness. This is such a fascinating time to be on earth, to be able to hold this light, to choose to remember while there's so many dark forces in systems still, but you chose this, and there's a reason for it, and you're geared up for this mission on Earth. So we experience, and it's really like, what are you? Choose what is your legacy? I don't know if I exactly resonate 100% with that word, but yeah, what is your legacy for being here? What timeline are you magnetizing? What are you creating and setting in motion for generations to come upon the earth? We are in a time of ascension. What is your contribution to it? And why did you choose to step onto the earth at this time? So we experience, as I mentioned, large cycles around the sun within our galaxy. Our sun has a 24,000 year cycle around the sun within our galaxy. So there's like 12,000 years of descension, about 12,000 years of ascension. As we get closer to the central sun, we move into a time of ascension. So when we move further away from it, we're descending. We've currently moved out of the darkest period, the Kali Yuga, and are now in the early stages of ascension. So yeah, when Jesus came, he literally anchored in the Christ consciousness just as we are shifting into a time of ascension. So he came at such a dark period of time. Since we are still, and when we think of Jesus, sometimes we think of him like it was like 2,000 years ago, like a long time ago. It's really not that long ago. Like he was in the span of eternity. He was kind of just here like yesterday. So there is this divine wisdom is still so deep and connected to us, and it's right at our fingertips. This wisdom that's channeling through. Okay, so since we're just coming out of this like dark time, there's still so much ignorance and selfishness, and there was, and because of this, a lot of his teachings were manipulated for war and the destruction of the culture and the feminine. But many people are actually remembering and integrating the true teachings of Christ consciousness and of the divine feminine now. So now that we are in a time of ascension, the divine feminine mysteries must rise in order to balance and harmonize all of life. So that's why, this is happening right now. We're literally right at the beginning of this time of ascension. And in order to bring harmony, it is about awakening the feminine, which went underground, both in the earth underground, like the sleeping of the dragons, the earth medicine, the connection of even fairies and gnomes and all these more mythical, that we say, creatures. They are a living part of this earth, but a lot of that deeper spiritual connection of Mother Earth just went underground and quieted. But it's time to stir it up, reawaken more of that wisdom. Okay, so examples of how to access the unlocking of the divine feminine wisdom within your own body, DNA, and soul. Now, again, I'm going to be sharing a little bit at the end about this upcoming one-day immersion, which will support you in literally remembering ancient parts of your lineage and healing any resistance that you have to unlocking the divine feminine wisdom within you. But part of this journey of initiation and remembering, one of the most important practices is meditation. As always, if you've worked with me over time, I will say that over and over is meditation, just sitting in space, clearing your mind, becoming open and receptive to actually hearing the voice of the divine, hearing the voice of your own soul, and just being a space where what is within you to have space to come forward. Because when we're always outward, we don't have time. We get caught up in habits, addictions, and patterns that aren't actually supportive of this higher collective awakening. Okay. All right. 2 is balance the masculine and feminine energy in your own life. There's so many ways to do that. Again, that's a much deeper conversation I'm not going to go into, but just think about for you, what is the masculine energy? What is the feminine energy? And how are you honoring both of those energies in your life? And where can you shift out of the toxic masculine traits or the toxic feminine traits? Okay. All right. So number 3 is reclaim your power and gifts from previous lives. So you have lived many other lifetimes and gone through many other initiations. And when you reclaim your energy, your wisdom, it's like, it's like bringing to form the wholeness of other lives into this lifetime instead of being like fractionated across other timelines. You bring in the wisdom, the gifts, the knowing into now, and you become this sense of wholeness that all aspects of your soul can transmit into this lifetime, and you become so resourceful and in your power, and you just remember so much more of who you are and why you're here. Another way to unlock the divine feminine wisdom is healing your womb. Deep womb healing. And I will be this is what I want to offer a lot of healing on in the months to come. I have a whole nother really powerful journey of just womb healing and the portal of the womb and birthing creations to the womb mysteries. There's so much there, but just talk to your womb, just start. And if you've done work with me, you know how much we've already gone into womb healing, but just speak to your womb, place your hands on her, just connect with her again, and just, hi, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Massage that space, and that will start moving energy. Okay, activate your divine feminine energy centers. You want to activate and heal the womb, the heart, and the third eye. These are the divine feminine energy centers where more of the divine feminine qualities radiate out into your life. So harmonizing those centers, healing, tuning into those chakra points and portals will inevitably unlock. If you work on activating your intuitive gifts and stepping into the oracular arts, you're going to channel more of this divine wisdom. Again, this isn't so much the end goal is to activate these gifts. It's more so connect connect with the divine, connect with who you really are, ascend into divine consciousness. Through that, you have a greater understanding of why you're here in this human experience. But as you start connecting with this divine consciousness, with God, remembering who you really are, of course, then inevitably your gifts are going to come forward. So you're going to start learning more about healing techniques. Your intuition is going to unlock. You're going to learn more about harmonizing the masculine and feminine energy and so on. You can study with your priestess lineages. You can go on journeys into the Akashic records, past lives, and learn about the different lineages you've studied under. And in this lifetime, re-engage yourself with those lineages, with those ascended master teachers. And it brings this like powerful remembrance, because when you start interfacing with those ascended masters and energy and studies, it just like unlocks like, oh, I remember this, I remember this, I remember this. Okay, you can connect with the divine feminine ascended masters. You can connect with, ancestors, angelic guides. Connecting with your spiritual support team inevitably starts unlocking wisdom codes within you, stepping into your power. This is something that I talked about, of course, for years and years as well. What does it mean to really reclaim your power? Well, it means calling all of you back from anything that is not in alignment with your highest good and completely anchoring yourself into the throne of your sovereignty. Okay. Chakras, working with your chakra system. These 7 portals are literally stargates to your higher self, to the divine wisdom that is within you. So when you activate and heal these chakras, energy can not only rise from the base of your body up to the divine, but you're also able to channel more divine guidance, wisdom, and light upon the earth, because you become stronger, more energized. Your energy body becomes more powerful to withstand the current of the divine within you. You also begin to understand more about what it means to live in harmony, because there's codes of harmonization within each chakra center. It gives you each chakra gives you an example or examples of how to interface with your life in a way that is of harmony, depending on if you're radiating through the heart, or emanating, speaking through the throat, or connecting through the womb and the root to the earth. There's so many wisdom codes within the chakra centers. Okay. Connecting with the earth, this literal earth is sacred geometric expression of the divine heavenly garden. It is, when you connect with nature, there's sacred geometry everywhere. Breathing in the air, connecting into the earth, the currents of the earth, touching, the earth, the ground, the leaves, the flowers, the rocks, stones, the water, everything, activating your senses to it. It activates a remembrance within you as well. And of course, ceremony. I'm going to stop there because I could talk a lot about that. Because life is a ceremony itself, but you can also step into ceremonial experiences, activate intentional ceremony in your life to create portals of opening. Ceremony allows you to step out of the consciousness you're in your daily life and shift into a portal of channeling, of connection, of divinity. It is such a sacred container that you can create. And it doesn't have to be like super theatrical. It can be very simple, but it literally shifts you. It creates a space where you can shift into divine connection. Okay, so this is important for your divine. All of this is so important for your divine mission right now. Because in order for you to truly step into why it is you came here, there has to be this level of trust in yourself. Trust that you can do it, that you're supported, that you have the gifts. And again, when you step into your divine mission, it's not like you know the whole plan. You have all the answers. Stepping into your divine mission and purpose, it's a sense of knowing that you're right where you're supposed to be, and you are serving in highest alignment with your highest good and divine. And so when you can really, stepping up into your divine mission right now, you need this level of deep connection and trust. So when you unlock these divine feminine mysteries, you are unlocking more of you. You're unlocking the sense of, oh, I know myself. Oh, I've been here before. I remember this. Oh, I prepared myself for this. even if you're not sure exactly what this is, there is this profound sense I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am guided. I have prepared myself and I'm here and I'm showing up. That willingness. Yes, I'm here and I'm willing to show up and have courage. Okay. Okay. So that completes the discussion that I had for this masterclass, Resurrect the Divine Feminine Wisdom Within. I want to spend a little bit time now just talking about this next step, if you'd like to take it into the unveiling, awakening the ancient priestess codex within your soul, your DNA, within the innate blueprint of your being. And so if you want to stick around, I'm just going to go through a couple of the details and share with you pricing, and then also let me share the screen here. I'm giving you a big discount off of the pricing if you're interested in signing up for it in the next 3 days. So let me just pull it up here and we will go into it. It's just a short little visualization, but I feel that it's really nice having a visual with these types of things. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the unveiling, awaken your ancient priestess codex. Here we go. So this is a 1-day immersive training, and space will be held for you to reclaim the Holy Sophia Christ priestess codex within your soul and in the earth, so that you can allow the ancient wisdom of your priestess lineage to unveil. I know I've talked a lot about it today, what this means to unlock it, but in this experience, it's about a 4-hour training and it will be recorded. It's really about you receiving that wisdom, unlocking it, experiencing it, and having those ahas and integration of what this means to remember this ancient wisdom that's stored within you. And of course, that's going to lead to it inevitably leads to an understanding of your soul purpose. When you know what you've been preparing for in other lifetimes, your teachings, your studies, your sisterhood, inevitably it gives you those ahas like, this is why I'm here. Of course, this is what I'm here to do, or the action I need to take. Okay. So the experience, it's on Saturday, March 2nd. So about like 2.5 weeks from now. It's from 1 to 5:30 Eastern. We will take about 30-minute break in between. Again, there's a recording, and you receive lifetime access to it. So let's talk a little bit about just the experience. So there's 2 parts to it. The first is Veil 1, Temple Codex. The second is Veil 2, which is the Priestess Codex. So for this veil, and again, it's about literally removing the veils of illusion so that you can remember you're stepping into this divine wisdom. So we're going to open up, as always, open the ceremonial space, and then we're going to move through just a discussion on resurrecting the temple within the body. If you heard me mention in the beginning of the discussion that in many other lifetimes, the temples were hidden away or very secretive, or not always secretive. When the unhealthy masculine started rising, a lot of the temple spaces that were more openly available had to go underground. But we're living in a time that the resurrection of the temple, it's within our body, it's within our sisterhood connection. It's not something necessarily that you always go to, although you still can do that in this lifetime. It's what your soul feels connected to, but it's empowering you to remember that you have the temple codex within you, and your life is the temple study, and initiating your body as the sacred holy temple where alchemization, initiation, and healing take place, so you can fully step and rise into your divine mission and relationship with God. Okay, so activating this so you can hold the sacred container for your holy work of priestesses, oracles, and healers. And with the completion of this discussion and healing, the veil around the sacredness of the archetypal and the physical holy temple within and without will be revealed. So it's really living in this different reality and perspective of the temple within your body and within the life that you're living, and how that's holding the sacred container for your initiations to take place, for this greater unveiling of the divine feminine mysteries within your life. Okay, and then we have the part two is the Priestess Codex. So this is really about remembering the ancient codes of, yeah, your specific priestess lineage. So we're going to move through a deeper discussion on priestess and oracular lineages in ancient history. This will just be, it might help, I'm not going to talk about all the priestess lineages. There's so many different lineages, but I will talk about some, especially ones that I have remembrance of. And it's just will be interesting to you, but also spark an inner knowing, kind of like when you start tuning into that field, it'll start unraveling your greater understanding of your lineages. Okay, then we're going to discuss the reawakening of the divine feminine on earth right now, just like we did and the return of the Sophia Christ consciousness today. But we're going to go much deeper into why this is important today and why it's happening right now and how you're a part of this movement. And then we're going to end with a really powerful healing to heal any wounds, traumas, or suffering that was experienced. When we talked about in today's class, that trauma, that the rape, the disconnection, the shame, the physical harm, the killing, all of the abuse that happened in our ancient lineage, this is going to, anything that's holding you back from really stepping into your power, reclaiming your gifts, and maybe wanting to hide away. We're going to work on doing a really powerful experience to heal that so that you unlock yourself. And you can really remember the ancient wisdom of your power, sovereignty, voice, and gifts as a priestess and reclaim who you really are. So with the completion of this discussion healing, the veil around your priestess path of service will be removed, and you'll come to understand more about your divine purpose as a priestess on earth right now. Okay, so let's talk about the pricing for this. So just access to this whole training is $333, but for the next 3 days, I'm offering $111 off. So it's $222 for access to this training. And then there's a second tier though for $444. Again, you can get $111 off, so $333. So this is the same thing, access to the live training and lifetime access to the recording. But you'll get 1 hour private guided Akashic record journey where I'm going to guide you into your Akashic records, and you are going to receive wisdom and information about your unique priestess path. So you're going to kind of go on a visual journey about past lives where you were studying in temples or working in sisterhood, or, whatever you were doing as your priestess path of service. And whatever journey you're taking on, your soul is guiding you to the specific lifetime that you need to remember right now. And you're going to receive specific messages from your spiritual guides and also from your own soul, and learn more about your lineage that you studied under. So again, my privates, typically 1 hour privates, are $144. So you're actually saving about like $33 anyways, just by doing a tier 2 and getting that more personalized experience. So all right, so this is, again, for the Unveiling, Awaken Your Ancient Priestess Codex. This is going to be on, stop the share, March 2nd on Saturday. And that code, so just go ahead and type Divine. If you're interested in stepping into this portal, again, even if you can't make it live, you'll get the recording. I'm going to send you a message. So type Divine in the comments, and I will send you a private message with the discount code to get the 111 off. Again, you have to sign up within the next 3 days. And I'll give you the links so that you can choose which tier you want to receive. Okay, so thank you so much for being here in this space, again, for choosing to show up and step into this work and to remember more of who you really are. And the commitment that you have to this path. Again, it's just such a joy to be with you all. Again, comment Divine if you want this information and also the discount code, so you can get that 111 off. And then also just message me with any questions that you might have about this. And we can talk about it. So I'm sending you all so much love, and I look forward to connecting with you in time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. All right. Mwah. Love to you, my dear sisters.